DYDX. So DYDX have been doing token migrations at the moment, especially with Ethereum being, or the ETH version of DYDX moving to their native chain. They have seen and do continue to see really significant volume on a daily basis, and they are obviously open to effectively the perpetuals markets. So DYDX has a lot more to it than, say, a Uniswap. I think this has legs to move really well in this market, and I want to talk about all of that. Before I do though, guys, if you're new here, you don't know what the spreadsheet is, these are the first 26 coins that I did videos about on the channel. In the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these coins. I expected they were going to make me a lot of cash, and you can see what these coins were worth when I recorded my videos. You can also see the highs that these coins hit in under a year and a half, as well as what your profit would have been if you'd have popped $100 into these coins when I released the videos, and if you'd have sold them after about 16, 17 months. And if you'd done that for all 26, your total profit would have been around 123 grand, which is not too bad. Now, I sold these, but I do share the coins that I'm invested in on my website, which is copymycrypto.com. So when I find a coin that I think is going to make me a lot of cash, I jump onto my site, and I tell my members all about the coin, its profit potential, and the percentage of my money I'm going to put in. And members can copy along exactly, so it means they make the exact same profit as me. And the added bonus, of course, is they don't have to do any work. That's why we have thousands of members on the site. It's because they're making great money in crypto without having to do any work. And if you want to see what they've made along with things I've said in the past, you can check that out on the site. You can also verify it all because it's all in the history of this channel. We're in a bull cycle right now, guys, and if you do not have your portfolio sorted, now is the time, especially before the Bitcoin halving, because once that happens, the markets are going to go wild and you're going to have missed out on a lot of profit-making opportunities. So if you haven't got your portfolio sorted, go over to copymycrypto.com, see what the members have earned, and see if it's something that you want to try. Now, DYDX. So ETH DYDX is undergoing a migration to DYDX chain, and this which unlocks expanded utility for the token. So this migration is currently in full flow now. What this means is the chart for DYDX native is different compared to the chart for ETH DYDX. Now, we should be able to get that up though. ETH DYDX. I might as well just type DYDX in. So let's get ETH DYDX open, because that has a longer history. If it opens. So there's the history, like the price history of this coin properly. So obviously it launched the back end of 2021. It actually rose to highs of $27 to $78. Now, obviously, with the token migration, this has caused a little bit more of a slow movement for the native coin itself. But what they've been doing has been pretty damn good, very, very much off the bat. It's the DYDX chain is a proof of stake blockchain network built using Cosmos. And the token itself is the layer 1 protocol token for the DYDX chain. Now, I'm less, to be honest, bothered about the DYDX chain, although I do think it's a good idea to try and expand on what they've already got. The bigger thing here, from my perspective, is more to do with the DEX. The DEX itself is doing $931 million in volume every 24 hours. And that's version 4. Then you've got iterations of it like the original, which is doing $299 million. And there is another one somewhere. Maybe not. Now, in terms of volume, that's pretty damn good. You know, you're talking about $1 billion in volume across DYDX, just across their DEX. And that's per day. Now, as of right now, we have the ETH token is tradable on Binance, but the native one is not yet. So I do think that that's probably slowing some of the price action down. Is like the native token right now is only buyable in terms of centralized places like OKX. So that needs to widen dramatically, and that will probably happen in at some point this year. But we have seen stuff like the DEX relocate to avoid US regulators, so that's never really a good sign. This is also now becoming an issue in the UK, as you can see. There's an IP country block because I appear to be a resident or trading from a jurisdiction that violates their terms of use. They have blocked it. So then it's VPN required issues. Now, these things actually could be very, very problematic for DYDX. Because before all of this, before the sort of move to avoid the US regulators, DYDX was doing really damn well. I mean, if we go back to the ETH, don't want centralized exchange, why is it there? DYDX. If we go back to DYDX on ETH, we'll see a bit more of the info about. Now, so originally the concept was that that you could use Ethereum's DYDX as a governance protocol to govern the layer 2 that was built on Ethereum. And the premise here was basically that you would be able to trade, you would be able to provide liquidity, and also they had perpetuals. So they had utilized Starkware to allow for cross-margin perpetuals, basically derivatives. Now, if you know anything about DYDX, as like a function within mathematics, it's actually like the derivative of y's relationship with respect to x, right? It's just sort of a nod to the maths there. But it was built with an expansion of perpetuals markets. And this is one of the most unexposed areas of crypto. It is becoming, well, let's be honest, it's becoming more and more exposed now. If we go to the derivatives market for the centralized exchanges, the trading volume now is reaching $58 billion on Binance per day, 18 billion on Bybit, 21 billion on OKX, 19 billion on BitGet. So this has now become quite an exposed area. Previously, this was really small. Now, one thing that is really worth noting, this is still a fraction of what it will be. In traditional markets, the perpetuals markets represent about $250 billion across a year, which is just staggering money. I mean, it's just enormous. And we're based on the way the crypto market is moving, that's the kind of direction that the perpetuals market's going in. I don't necessarily think that's a realistic target. However, it is worth noting that because the crypto markets are open 24 hours, there is the possibility that there is more volume that can come. I think $250 billion is probably unlikely, but DYDX had a really good plan of action in terms of being a decentralized platform that really focuses on I don't know why this keeps happening there. This is getting very odd. Fine, I'll stay there. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they had a really good premise in terms of focusing on a perpetuals decentralized platform, where you didn't have to hold crypto in an exchange where we've seen so many things go wrong with centralized exchanges. I mean, it's been dramatic what's happened over the past few years. The FTX thing, the Celsius thing. I mean, I know some people got the money back on Celsius, but also a lot of people got fractions of their money back on Celsius. And an idea of a decentralized perpetuals market was really positive, and that's why they were seeing such volume. This migration combined with the move to quote unquote avoid American regulators could, in theory, really slow this project down. I've always had the view that DYDX was inevitable that it would hit a new all-time high, but a couple of the recent shifts, the fact that now you're getting blocked if you're in a particular country does not bode well. Combine that with the potential of, difficulty getting listed. Like if it is in fact accurate that they've moved to avoid US regulators, it's going to be very difficult for certain exchanges like Binance or KuCoin or whoever to justify listing DYDX's native token, because Binance are already in trouble with the SEC, and they're always in trouble with the SEC these days. So a very weird scenario. I actually always viewed DYDX as a $40 coin. I always viewed this as, really trying to test that sort of $20 billion target. I'm not convinced necessarily that that's going to happen now. I still think that's an accurate target, but I think if the native token doesn't get listed on Binance, I think they're in real trouble, because the whole migration is going to happen, and if the trading for the native token isn't available on the biggest exchanges in the world, the volume that can come to it flatlines a bit. Also, how much DEX volume is really going to go to them, especially if you're getting blocked in certain countries. If I'm getting blocked in the UK and you're getting blocked in America, it's minimizing the amount of places that can buy it. So I don't know. There's issues here. I still think $40 is a fair target, but I think if those things don't happen, if it doesn't get listed, we're looking at DYDX possibly struggling at $10. It might not make that, because not having access to the biggest trading volume like Binance is a big issue. Hopefully these things get resolved, and hopefully the migration is complete relatively soon. But until those things happen, I think there's going to be a bit of price stagnation, especially as we see in surges in places, the DEXs like Jupiter, and we're once again seeing Uniswap's sort of Ethereum surge happening. So very unusual circumstance. I'm very surprised that I think they've put, well, not very surprised. I think they've put their token at risk by moving. I think they've put the future of their token at risk by moving. I understand the being keen to avoid the SEC, because they're trying to crush the crypto market, but thinking long term, this is not a long term move from my perspective. It's going to be interesting. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. And guys, if you want to make the same profits as me in this bull cycle, you can do. All you have to do is head over to copymycrypto.com. That is the site I've run where I share with my members every coin that I own. Anytime I find a coin that I think is going to make me a ton of cash, I jump onto my site, I tell my members about the coin that I'm going to buy, the profits that I think that coin can have, the percentage of my money that I'm going to put in. My members can copy along exactly, which means they make the same money as me, but they don't have to do any work at all. When I sell a coin, I also tell my members what coin I'm selling and at what price. So again, the members get out at the same price. So my members make the exact same money, but they don't do the work. And again, if you want to see what they've made, along with things I've said in the past, in 2020, I did a course about Phantom and why Phantom was the best investment of the year. Phantom went on 700x, just about, not quite, just shy. When I find coins like that now, I don't create courses. I just tell my members all about the coin. So if you want to find out about the next big coins as well, copymycrypto.com is where you go, guys. And that's it from me. Have a good day. Bye-bye.